Can you be made to pay your other side's legal fees in a divorce? My name is Goldman, and I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Whether the other side can be made to pay your legal fees or the other way around, whether you can be made to pay theirs, is really a question for the court. In other words, there's no statute that mandates that you have to pay his fees, he's got to pay yours. I mean, we basically live in a system for the most part where people pay their own way. And we don't have a loser pays kind of situation absent a court rule or a statute to the contrary. But in family law cases, where you have a situation where, let's say, one party is working, let's say husband works, wife is a homemaker. He has control of the money. All the money that is in the bank account came from his paycheck. So what happens then? He's got access and he can go hire a lawyer. What is she supposed to do, particularly if he moves the money or denies her access? In a situation like that, you can expect that attorneys will file a motion for attorney fees, requiring the other side to pay it. You see, you got to understand one thing. If the court orders that the money come out of the joint bank account, when only one person is contributing, then that person is really paying for both, because the fund out of which both sets of attorneys are being paid comes from one source. If both parties are contributing equally to one account and they make about the same amount of money, then in a sense they're both paying their own ways, aren't they? Where you get into a weird situation is where, let's say, wife is making 75% of salary and husband's only making 25%, and it's all going into the same account. Then what do we got going on? Well, if the court orders that the money be paid out of that account, where it's 75%, 25%, so what do you got going on there? You got the wife who is making 75%, paying 75% of the other guy's bill, right? Because all of that money, if there's $100 in the account and 75 is hers, so that money's coming from her. And the other guy, well, he's only paying the 25%. So you've got to look at it that way. In situations where the contribution was a certain percentage, it's probably going to be paid the same way. On the flip side, if you've got two independently wealthy parties, the court will probably make them pay their own way. And if you've got one person who's making all the money and the other person is not making any money, well, in effect, how's that person going to be paid? If it's coming out of the bank accounts at the end of the day and he's done all the contribution, then you got the other side paying your attorney fees. Now, every now and then, even though both parties may have jobs or whatever, the court could still order one side to pay the other side's attorney fees, particularly if the court is impressed with the notion that all these fees are that guy's fault. Actions of her part cause him to spend all this money. And you know when we see that? When somebody forces you to file a motion because they won't comply with an existing court order. At that point, the court will often award attorney fees. So, for example, you have an order. It says on Friday at 6 o'clock, you get to have your son for parenting time. You show up, she's not there. She knew you were coming because she confirmed. It's not an emergency. There wasn't a car accident. She just decided to take the child away for the weekend so you don't get parenting time. So what happens? You file a motion with the court because the order's been violated, and you ask for interest, costs, and attorney fees wrongfully incurred that were made to be expended because of her action. The court will either order it, take it under advisement, do something, but the court will note that it occurred. So even if they don't order it this time, next time she does it, they're going to really order that, and perhaps even the other one, they're going to hit her hard because the court's going to see repeated acts violating the court order. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.